Got it. Done and got it. All righty, y'all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey. Here in Morocco and Northwest of Maxim. How are you? Guys, I'd like to welcome you to our 7-day tropic medical astro weather report for July 20th through the 26th, right? The 20th through the 26th, July 2023. All righty. And I am here with our magnificent and beloved brother in whom we are well pleased. And he is...
Islam, peace and love to ye all out there. So hermanos, family, you already know that all is well. And bro, I mean, I don't know what be happening, bro. What was that other appellation? You know,
Yo, you're hilarious, bro. It's always fun. Guys, without further ado, let's just get right to it, man, and let you guys know what's going on before we get into this weather report. Guys, make sure ye are signing up, all righty, for what? There's an astrology workshop you don't want to miss. The universally professional astrology community presents Quick Thinking, Moon and Mercury. So it's a workshop about Moon and Mercury and how you can, observe and analyze and give testimony for Moon and Mercury in these natal chart. In your natal chart, someone else's natal chart, any chart, actually, any chart you cast astrologically for any sentient being and or event, right? So with that being said, it's the 12th and 13th August 2023. That is a Saturday and a Sunday from noon to 1600. Or from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. if that's how you need to hear it. That's Eastern, all righty? So those of you on the West Coast, that means you're going to participate. That's going to be from 9 to 1 for you guys. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific, all right? The Elemosynary tuition for lifetime membership. So guys, since this is, our astrological society for anyone to join, so it's open. Right? Since Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a universal prophet, he just came to us more first because we need him the most, right? Because, he's a universal prophet and his philosophy is universal. So, since, following in those footsteps lovingly and accordingly, this is open to all beings that are interested in astrology. You could be a beginner or you can also be someone who's advanced. You've been studying for quite some time. What we're going to do is we're going to be, sharing our perspective and how we see these things or whatever, so that you can actually use this for yourselves. Because the first and foremost reason why we do this is so that you can take care of your families. All righty. Take the guesswork out of being loved ones, being relatives. All righty. Elemosynary tuition for a lifetime membership is 250 units via CashApp going to Our Astrology Street. You put a little caduceus symbol that people call the $sign first. And then Our Astrology Street. And this workshop's lectures presentation is by Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey. And all those that participate are getting a Mental Magician 1.0 report from Brother Sean Aline L. And he will be there also with me giving this lecture in the form of 9 times out of 10. You guys have any questions or anything, I'm pretty sure he can respond to your questions directly to proper way. However, I'm also sure he's going to share his wisdom too with how he sees Moon and Mercury. And it's so, genius how, when I and bro put this flyer together, especially when Brother Sean's the Virgo and I'm the Cancer, I think Mercury and Moon are in the correct places for this flyer as far as where we are, right?
For real.
So, yeah, it just turned out perfect. So again, guys, the Universally Professional Astrology Community presents what is it? Yes, TUPAC. That is the Astrological Society. That is a universal philosophy astrology society, right? So the Universally Professional Astrology Society again presents Quick Thinking, Moon and Mercury for the 12th and 13th August 2023. That's Saturday and Sunday from noon to 1600 or 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. for those that need to hear it like that. And again, the Elemosynary tuition for a lifetime membership, 250 units via Cash App going to Our Astrology Street. And again, this workshop's lecture presentation is by Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey and Sean Aline L. All right. And remember, for those that participate, so you'll have evidence to your lifetime membership. You'll be receiving a Mental Magician report, Mental Magician 1.0 report, alrighty, that is strategically and carefully put together by brother Sean Elaine L. All right. So next thing we like to bring up to you guys is copper crystal canvases. And guys have it, make sure you go and check out copper crystal canvases. All righty. Go to their Instagram, give them a follow, right? Go and check out some of the things that they have there. However, you guys see there's a link there, right? And so they have a means for you to transact on 7 Hill Star, right? Copper Crystal Canvases has their things there, and you guys can actually go and see everything that's there, and you can check out. Alrighty. So you see that jewelry that is there, right? The Copper Crystal Canvases have for you guys to order, and it will get sent out to you as you know, as you guys like it. And as you can see, like I'll show you mine that I have. Alrighty, I don't want you guys thinking like, oh, I get all of those bracelets. No, that's not one whole set or bangles. Those are different. Let's see if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 different bracelets right there, right? Alrighty, and so you guys can see the different ones that are there. And now you can go to 7heelstar.com and make sure you get your hands on it, right? Well, will not be disappointed. Alrighty, guarantee you will enjoy it. And guys, I think those at Copper Crystal Canvases will make things custom too. If there's a certain specific way you want certain things as far as the crystals and the copper, when they're crafting the crystals and the copper, guys can just simply ask and, you know, see what they say, right? Guys can get your plant stakes for your electroculture too, right? And then you can get plant-shaped copper earrings, right? Because when the copper is on the skin, man, there's a certain balance that I even feel. So that's why I enjoy the fact that I have 2 copper rings, you know, a copper ring on each hand for myself also. So you guys can check out what it is that they have there. So go and check those out. All right, you will not be disappointed one bit. All right, they have their link there. I guess if you click the menu, right, and see there, right? So you got the universally professional astrology community, and you see Copper Crystal Canvases there too in the menu. All righty, so make sure y'all go and enjoy that. Without further ado, let me make sure I take it right here, right, for what y'all are here for. 7 Hill Star astrology calendar for March, Aries 2023 to February Pisces 2024. Quote, time never was when man was not, end quote, and we are quoting El-Hajj Sheikh Sharif Abdullah Ali doing religious corporate activity by affidavit being Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So the moon cycle that we're looking at, right? I am Brother Sean. We're going to go right here and check this moon cycle out that has Cancer, right? And Leo within it. The signs ruled by both the luminaries. Cancer, a water sign for the crab, anciently and contemporarily ruled by Luna, which is the moon, and the fire sign Leo, the lion, anciently and contemporarily ruled by Sol, right? The sun. And guys, again, we're doing from the 20th to the 26th. And on the 20th, starting us out is Brother Sean, Aline L. You know, Brother Terrell Tamari Bay is just doing his thing. He's always assisting his loved ones, guys. So you don't want you to think like, oh, what's going on? Like, he's just assisting his loved ones, right? Oh, they better slow down. People making delivery, man, they backing up in here like they about to hit the garage, man. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. What is wrong with you? Yo, man. All right. So anyway, so the 20th, starting out, right, is Brother Sean Ali Mel, right? And if you guys ever want to ask about any of our bros, and you guys are wondering, wait, what's going on? Guys, remember, go to the About Us page, and you guys can go and click on their Instagrams, direct message them, ask them, and I'm pretty sure they'll get to you when they see best fit for themselves, right? Not, you know, we are our brother's keeper. However, at the end of the day, we kind of know when people are signifying. And just, hey, man, what's going on? Look, man, ask that man. We grown men now. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't sit here and ask a man, you know what I mean? I'll be 40 come next July. You're not about, what is this, high school? What is wrong with you people, right? That's why sometimes I think, you know, a lot of times this social media is just like, some people just don't belong on social media. But anyway, Brother Sean Ali Mel for the 20th, all righty, July 2023 for those 3 testimonies and lunar ingress. As you can see after his second testimony, Luna is void of course, right? Moon void of course is buyer's remorse, and it's taking place for about 3 hours, 4 minutes, all righty, before it makes its ingress into Virgo, all right? For the 21st, it is I, Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey, for Holy Day, right? For those 4 testimonies there, right? Those 4 testimonies while Luna is still making its transit through Virgo. And for the 22nd, Brother Sean Ali Mel has those 2 testimonies and the solar ingress into Leo, right? So, you know, daddy's home, right? But really, when I think about the sustainer of life, right? Sometimes when I read certain astrological texts, it's like the sun is mother and the moon is son, right? Right? Mother and son, because, you know, mother sustains life, right? Just saying, it's just kind of how, you know, it just kind of looks to me and is to me. However, for the 23rd, it is I, Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey, with these 3 testimonies and the lunar ingress into Libra. So after my first testimony, after Luna trines Pluto, 6 minutes after midnight, it's void of course for 1 hour and 48 minutes before ingressing Libra. All right. For the 24th, Brother Sean Alim L has a super long list of transit. No, it's just Brother Sean is going to go in. It seems to be, you know, the only transit that's left is that Mercury quartile, right? Uranus. So Mercury square Uranus there after the last solar lunar aspect of sextile there. And then, you know, that Mercury Uranus square there. So Brother Sean is just going to kind of go in on, you know, the sunrise and let you guys know what to expect for that day, just based off of whatever he chooses to share with you about that. For the 25th, it is I, Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey, with 4 testimonies and a lunar ingress into Scorpio, right? And Luna ingresses Scorpio after my 3rd testimony for, you know, after a voided course, of course, for 1 hour and 50 minutes, all right? So again, remember, moon voided course is buyer's remorse, so make no transactions during the moon voided course. However, if you made plans prior to a moon voided course and you're just on schedule, or you're, you know, taking care of things that you reserved prior to a moon voided course, then move forward with the decisions that you made prior to that moon voided course. And on the 26th, it is Brother Sean Ali Mel with the final 3 testimonies as Luna completes or continues its transit in Scorpio. All righty. So with that being said, let me come on back here. Now let's just really get into this. I want to get flash testimonies. Anybody in the chat there, bro? All right, let's see what we get going down.
Let's see what we got. All right, we've got Janelle Blash L says Islam.
Hey, Mother Janelle.
Islam. 7 Judah. Bilal Bay says peace and love.
Islam, Brother 7.
Peace. And indeed. Derek Blash Bay says peaceful greetings, everyone. Peace.
Indeed, peaceful greetings. And peaceful greetings to you also, Brother Derek, and everyone that is joining us right now. We appreciate you guys joining us, and share with your loved ones, right? Remember, click that notification bell to make sure anytime we're going live, you know, you get that notification. And, you know, go and hit the like button and all those good things that people say in YouTubeverse, right? So with that, let's go and share the screen on over here. And let's just get right to Brother Sean going in for Thursday. All righty. Let me make sure I also give you the remote control there, broski, so you can co-pilot. Right?
Sure.
All right, and there we go. So, guys, we yield the floor to our beloved brother, in whom we are well pleased, Brother Sean Alim L. Islam.
Islam, man. You have to check here. Okay, cool. All right, so we're at Thursday for July 20th, 2023, Kusei Kwa calendar. All right, we have a sun at 27 degrees, 28 minutes, ruling over the second house cusp. Would you looky? All right, and with the sun being at 27 degrees Cancer, which is the degree of farming. So for this Thursday, right, one can take the wilderness, whether that's physical or metaphysical, and cultivate that and prepare that to plant one's seeds, or just taking care of one's uncultivated thoughts, or, you know, wilderness, or things around them, and really just, like I said, dealing with farming. And let's see, yeah, so really doing the communication needed. So maybe I'm getting that even some beings are going to be, I don't know why, like speaking to their plants or speaking to animal, like speaking to various things. So maybe doing that. And with Luna being final dispositor for this, Luna's at 26 degrees Leo in the second house. So yeah, just taking care of things like I remember shout out to brother Corey bringing up yesterday to let toil be one's joy. So finding joy and toil, and I think that's chapter 12, obtaining eternal happiness. I think so. When the anthropomorphic Jesus spoke on the minor when he gave that parable. So just finding the beauty and the joy and the things that one has and the unseen things that one might not even be aware of, and just taking care and tending to the things that need to be, cutting weeds away, planting seeds, or watering other plants. And one can take that physically or metaphysically. And with that, I yield the floor. So So next up, let me catch with you. We have a solar Neptunian trine, right? Neptune's right there. In the house. In the seventh house at 27 degrees, 35 minutes Pisces, right? Retrograde. Sun's at the 11th house, quote unquote, fall house or whatever, right?
Yeah, where it could possibly have some accidental debilitations, as some text say. I yield, bro.
Islam. So yeah, this is currently at 9:06 in the morning. All right, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5 houses away. So Sun and Neptune here. This is just finding harmony and be able to see the dualities of life. So, using one's imagination, but staying present in the present moment and state. Being loving and charitable to one's friends via the internet. So maybe seeing some donations or charity, occurring via the internet, especially dealing with homes, a home away from home, right? Giving to others as they see need fit, and wow, or just giving oneself the things that they need in private, giving themselves all the love, self-affirmation, self-care, all those things, so that when they go out into the world, they can give that unto others. And with that, I yield the floor. Let's see. Next up, we have a lunar Venusian conjunction junction. All right. So that'll be occurring at 28. Probably still be in the 12th. Yes. So this is still in the 12th house. And this is an astrological degree, so guys. So this will be a great day for one to sign up for the workshop, or two, if one's not ready to transact for that, to get one's reading done, as Venus and Luna is in the astrological degree. So one can really see the beauty and be able to feel the emotional nurturing and security by getting one's mental magician report, one's mirror, or the other various things that we have, but we might not advertise. So, be sure to, speak up or just ask a question if one needs that. Astrology is very important high on this day, especially on the Thursday. And this is occurring during a Jupiter day Venus hour. So really, one can be able to expand that beauty and harmony that they see fit, or be able to open themselves up to those things that one might not feel worthy of, or might just not see what they really need. And chart ruler is Mercury. Mercury's in the 11th house, right, in Leo. So yeah, communication is definitely the theme for the day. And with that, I will yield the floor for that lunar Venusian conjunction, and Luna goes void of course for 3 hours and 4 minutes. So no major purchases or transaction during this time. Just hold out, right, until Luna moves into Virgo, or one can actually check their nativity, and Luna might depending on that. But once again, that's come back to getting on astrology or getting one's astro calendar tailored to their natal chart. So don't forget about that either, right? So moving on next, we have Luna ingressing Virgo in the 11th house. And me, when I think of Luna moving in Virgo, I'm always thinking of like, oh dang, it's cleaning time, right? Instead of it's morphing time. Wow. How did I just break? Okay, whatever. Throw it away. Huh? 10th? Oh, 10th. Okay, it's in the 10th. Well, it's still cleaning time, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Luna the 10th. Wow. That is just maybe some home security or home service. And this can bring about a newfound sense of security or authority, or even standing amongst one's peers and oneself first and foremost. So it could be the same, maybe even a lot of cleaning pertaining to government, right? Luna and Virgo, that's the people. When you think of that yourself, that's just being of service, to oneself. So giving some self-love, some self-care. Venus is, ruling over that Venusian ingress. And Venus is in, looks like to be the 11th.
Yes.
10th, pardon me, 10th. Oh, no, yeah, the 10th.
Yes.
So, wow,
yeah,
Luna and
five,
Venus is in that 10th.
Yeah, these 5 are having a party in the 10th right here from Sun to Moon.
Yo, the 10th is deep, and Luna's actually ruling over that 10th house. So when it comes to the expression, communication, beauty, and values, one just needs to be organized in getting into that as this Cancer season closes out. So definitely doing that summer cleaning within one's temple and outside. With that, I yield the floor. And we'll get into the last aspect of the day. We have a Martian Saturnian reflection. Let's see, and this is in the 9th and 3rd, right? Saturn's there in the 3rd house. Mars is in the 9th. So yeah, this once again to be quick, and this is once again organizing. So this is reflecting on one's actions. Maybe when one wasn't sure and clear with a definite plan or structure. And with Saturn being in the 3rd, that's all about restricting or being open to just work harder or become more responsible for one's thoughts, one's communications, and really just surrendering to their mental and the opportunities that would present themselves for higher learning. And Sun is actually ruling over that Martian. We're ruling over Mars, and it's from the 8th, so it's 12th. So yeah, just yielding to the unseen and not being so focused and fixed in what one can see, what one can touch, and what one can feel. And yeah, being spirit man and not so always physical fight cycle man. And with that, I yield the floor to the bro.
Islam. So going in on the 21st, guys. Sunrise, of course, right? Let's see. Let's get that for that next, right? Before I get into my first transit that's prior to sunrise. So sunrise is taking place at about 28 degrees. Looky, Astro Cookie, right? Right before the half of degree mark. So, and again, Brother Sean was saying it's just coming off of degree of farming. 28 degrees is, where Mars has its quote unquote fall, right? So I was reflecting where Mars would actually be exalted. However, 28 degrees also has to do with hair in Cancer, right? This might be a really great time to focus on your hair in some way, shape, or form. Maybe, you got some washing of the hair to do. Maybe it's some things pertaining to, styling. Maybe you are like, you know what, I'm not going to cut it. I'm just going to give myself a shape up. Or maybe you're someone who's like, I'm going to, not cut my hair, but maybe cut the perm out of it and go natural, or vice versa, But it just has a lot to do with hair. And I kind of keep getting a picture in my head pertaining to red hair, right? Which I think, kind of best to, not use that color in your hair unless it's natural for you. Because I've noticed that without the proper mindset, red hair brings an energy, to people that kind of makes them aggressive, right? So just saying respectfully, just think about it, So for those of you out there with red hair that's not naturally growing out your scalp, don't be upset. Just look at your temperament. You know what I mean? It's some energy.
Yeah, I always be on the ass. Like, what you going through?
Yeah, straight up, man. Now that Luna is no longer in Leo, because Luna and Sun were in mutual reception for quite some time. However, now that Luna's in Virgo, alrighty, in the whole sign, if I look at this, even though we have a Placidus chart here, a lot of times in my mind, I see things in a whole sign fashion. So Luna is definitely bringing, some very, emotional, probably detailed emotional communication, alrighty, to the collective self. However, also it just kind of really lets me know that communication may be, again, about the hair. Maybe you have to go and get things done early, or have to just delay yourself for a few hours till you go to get exactly what it is that you want. Because even though the moon is ruling over the degree where the sun is, Virgo, ruled by Mercury, of course, deals with the nervous system and the hair and nails, right? So to a certain degree, Mercury is also a beauty. Virgo is also a beauty sign, so to speak, right? And of course, in Leo, of course, is Mercury there, just conjunct the second house, while in the first house still. Mercury's still in the first house, all right? By Placidus, type of calculations. However, it's in the whole sign second. So yeah, definitely Mercury is just really bringing value to the mane, right? Because lions have manes. So, there's going to be something that you're seeking to communicate so that you can possess the style that you want for your hair. However, with that, I yield the floor. We're going to get into a first testimony happens before sunrise at approximately 2 minutes after 0200 hours. We have Luna reflecting Saturn, just like how Mars is coming off of reflecting Saturn. What's happening in we're almost there. Might have to hit that preview, yes. Right? Oh, 180. So 180 that's missing, that's all. Yeah. Next. So with that being said, now we see on the 21st at 0200 hours, 2 minutes and 21 seconds, Luna is clearly there in the fourth house while Saturn's in the 10th. So when it comes to, the collective, nurturing and providing energies, 10th house deals with mother, fourth house deals with father when you're speaking like ancient / traditional astrology. Ones could actually, have themselves, really think about, having a possible conversation and really, making sure that there's a strict decision in, being honest about something that needs to be thoroughly communicated. All righty. And that communication just want to really bring some light on some things so that if there was any animosity between someone's mother and father, what will actually take place now is a means to get over the fascination and denial and really find the value that is necessary for everyone locally, so to speak, and collectively to be able to communicate those hardships, however, reflecting on how steps can be taken to move forward in the relative relationship. And with that, I yield the floor. Next, Luna is conjunct Mars, right? Brother Sean had Luna conjunct Venus. I have Luna conjunct Mars. This is taking place, of course, in Virgo at 6 degrees, 36 minutes, right? So with that being said, and it's taking place in the fourth house, right? So 6 degrees is just right before the degree of dress, and the degree of dress is between 7 and 10 degrees in Virgo. What we can actually see here, though, however, when discussing the dignities of both of these planets, what we can see is Luna's at a +4, right? Because it's in its own triplicity, of course, and it's in mutual reception with the sun by face. All right, so Luna's doing pretty good. Mars is feeling a little peregrine, kind of, out of place, out of sorts. So, when it comes to, feeling at home, it will probably depend on your activities. You may be somewhere where you don't necessarily feel at home, but the activities that are taking place there, you will be properly taken care of by the host that's there, so to speak, as far as, as far as the moments. Stand there. There's going to come a moment and you stand there, like maybe 1/3 of the moment that, you will be thoroughly nurtured and taken care of, which will really set the tone for how you feel about being there for whatever time that remains, you being there before returning back to your own place. So make sure you are definitely open about your communication, just honest. Don't be rude, so that you can be accommodated accordingly. And with that, I yield the floor. Luna's trying Jupiter here. All right, even though Jupiter's in Taurus, Luna is still in Mars. Going to have about 12 degrees, I'm sure. All righty, Luna is clearly there at 12 degrees, 28 minutes in Virgo, and Jupiter's at 12 degrees, 28 minutes in Taurus, and it's setting, right? So this is between the 10th and 7th houses, all righty, and 7th being 10th from the 10th, right? So it's like, if you have a second job, all righty, you people out there with a second job, there's going to be a sudden change in, your scheduling that's going to take place. And what you can actually do is further find a means to secure the first job by seeing that now the schedule has been adjusted. However, you're not losing the second job, so to speak. What's actually occurring, though, is there's been changes within the contracting of the second job, which allows you to now not have to possibly call out as much of the first job or really be tired trying to get to both of them. So now you can give some equal energy, even though you're still working both those jobs. And with that, I yield the floor. Finally, we have Sun reflecting Pluto. Look at that. There's a full Pluto that's taking place there. All righty. Having at 29 degrees Cancer, 8 minutes, and 29 degrees, 8 minutes Capricorn. Of course, Pluto is retrograde, and it's taking place respectively in the 4th and 10th houses. Here we go with the 4th and 10th house again. All righty. And I think Father has to shine some light on some things that'll be very transformational about Mother. And that transformation joyfully will be expressed about the institution of something that has probably been quite hidden. All righty. However, it's going to be brought to the forefront in a death and the regeneration of some sort of relative interaction is going to take place, because the status and the family, or the family status, will now be brought into full light and perspective, and things that were done underground are now above ground. And with that, I yield the floor to our beloved brother, Shanaleen L. Islam.
Islam. Alrighty, so we are now at July 22nd, right? On a Saturn day. All right, we have the sun at 29 degrees Cancer, 22 minutes. And this is the last degree or day pertaining to Cancer season. Hey, so right. So yeah, so definitely on this day, and just even come off of Friday the whole day with Brother San, was just going in on all those transits. It's really a reflective day for Saturday to start out. It's like the degree of collecting. So one could be receiving news pertaining to maybe some land, maybe even getting some land from one's grandmother or mother, or for those that operate going against the land not to be sold, but, real estate, whatever, right? Getting that, or really receiving some ancestral gifts. I'm getting to, so maybe some psychic gifts, down uploads, upgrades. Yeah, and just family here. So maybe even I'm getting to that, like family Bible, family history. So for that matter, and with Sun ruling over that second house cusp, and Luna being in, looks like to be the third. So yeah, some communication with one's local community, maybe even their siblings could be of assistance as well. So just be open and clearing things out, cleaning house, maybe even like a major cleanup project on a Saturday. With that, I yield the floor for the first aspect of the day, and we have a lunar Uranian trine. All right, so we have Luna in the 12th. All right, we have Uranus in the 8th. I know 22 degrees Taurus is success at any cost.
Correct.
For Virgo, I would have to check really fast, but with Luna being in the 12th, it's kind of like a keep to oneself day type energy.
Interesting. 22 degrees Virgo, a military degree said to rule appendicitis in hairdressers.
Interesting. So yeah, maybe someone. Wow. I think whoever thinks about getting their hair done on Friday should hold off till Saturday. I know bro speak about getting hair done, and yeah, someone's maybe going for a new hairstyle, or maybe a hairdresser is, trying out new styles that he or she, seen via the internet or from, someone giving a book of some sort, but just being open to transformation on this day. In the flow, in the present state. Just being open to being in the flow, staying present, organizing the details, getting satisfaction from getting into the nitty gritty so that one can, ponder on the bigger picture. But what's seeing the bigger picture if one can't, take it step by step and explain it in bits and pieces so that anyone can get it with that. And Mercury's ruling over that. Mercury's in the 11th. So, working within the friend group, getting assistance. And with that, I'll yield the floor. For next up, we have a lunar Neptunian reflection. All right, so Luna's in the 8th. 7th, hold on, the 7th, and Neptune's in the 1st. Man, that's it's going down. Somebody play Young Jock, it's going down in the 7th. Luna going through phases, everything in the 7th. All right, wow. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of, and Sun's ruling over that once again, 12 houses away from that. So with this lunar Neptunian reflection, as I just spoke about, like I said, the details in the bigger picture, this is also pertaining to one's mindset. And this could be, speaking to loved ones, those that one works with, maybe receiving some values from coworkers or, business partners, or even their loved one, for those that have that, really able to take a step back and get out of one's mind or get out of illusions, that are not true. So, kind of that whole energy of, making something up that ain't even true or even really happened. So, take an opportunity to reflect, to now move forward with oneself after, taking that time to either heal, plant new seeds, or look at things from a different perspective so that one is just not operating how they think they should without really taking a lot of things into consideration and really able to see the beauty of, partnerships and themselves. So with that, I'll yield the floor. And with the last aspect of the day. So we now have Sun moving to Leo. All right, so happy early solar return to all my Leos out there, all my solar Leos. This is in the 6th house. Would you looky? Wow. And Sun at 29 degrees Aquarius. So wow. So this is for the East Coast. So for the next 30 degrees, right? Man, I think everyone's gonna be just putting themselves out there. I'd seen an ad the other day when I was posting on Instagram, and it said don't really focus so much on the product, but the service. So yeah, putting that service out there and that value. What makes one passionate about what they have, whether it's painting, woodwork, dog walking, whatever way that one is of service or love to be of service to themselves and other. What is that? What's the core value? What motivates you? Besides material gain or profit, like if one wasn't, getting paid for whatever service, what is it about it that they can still be happy?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and be happy and joyful about it. You said the power went on?
No, I said, is that what happened? Let me double check real quick. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think we're back. 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Right.
2 seconds.
So yeah, I'll keep speaking on that. So yeah, being joyful and really just spreading that love. And with the Senate being was at 29 degrees Aquarius, one can't but help but to restricting the things that isn't working, isn't really for them, but at the same time really discipline themselves to work hard for those things and always operate from the first principle, which is love. And with Uranus being as a co-ruler, co-helper, Uranus is in the 3rd. So this is allowing things to come to one, but not really trying to force too much, or just trying to doing something for a sense of success or fame or nobility of some sort that could, might be beneficial quick now, but in the long run, it won't last.
Correct.
So, embrace love and one's loved ones, embrace beauty for these next 30 degrees, and just take maybe even classes, service for that matter. And Mercury's there too. And man, it's just embrace the beauty and communicate what needs to be communicated and really reflect on one's inner core and values. And with that, I yield the floor back to my bro.
This long, hit that next button there, right? And guys, remember, go to 7hillstar.com. Make sure you sign up for our email list to get that email that comes out every Thursday, right? You're going to have about 2 of them come out tomorrow morning on Thursday. All right.
Oh, bro, can I get the remote control back?
Yeah. Forgive. So yeah, with that being said, make sure you sign up. And guys, again, remember, come and be a lifetime member, right? Since this is the first astrology workshop for the universally professional astrology community. All right, and remember, 250 units in lieu of lawful money for ye LMOs and our tuition will be the lifetime membership, right? Because there are other astrological societies that have, certain numbers for membership, and it's like, oh, you get this for a year, you get this for 3 years, and it's this amount, which is way more than 250 for a lifetime. However, we are doing what we do for our people, because my sense and thinking is that knowing the astrology and being able to look ahead will save yourself a lot of heartache and pain. And people want to talk about how could the hood be fixed. All of you that's really from the hood for real, you see what I'm saying? It can be fixed by studying ourselves and really knowing this astrology. And when we do know these things and see these things, because I and the bros were just discussing yesterday how we can take any of you guys' charts and map out your whole year for you and let you know ahead of time what the theme would be, the different themes, the sub chapters, the sub themes for the overall theme. We can let you know what actually takes place year after year after year. However, we want to make sure you guys, have an opportunity to be a part of an astrological association for your lifetime membership and all subsequent workshops. The numbers will be significantly lower. However, we want to make sure that people are members. And so people that are not members, which we'll keep a list of course, 9 times out of 10, we would like for you to, do your best to become a lifetime member because there will be benefits there as far as being able to have the recordings and things of that nature. However, we're, making sure that you can actually utilize astrology in your life. All righty. Because we'll let you guys know it's something that we've been giving you guys. I mean, let's be honest, you can come to 7hillstar.com and cast your chart for free due to the fact that I have one of our colleagues' astrology chart calculating widget on our website. All righty. So it would be nothing once you, learn from the workshop, before you get into, other things that we give away for free. Without saying it, you're really checking, what it is that we already do give for free. You recognize that you have the tools already. However,
Really?
coming to the workshop is so, yeah, I know, right? Coming to the workshop is so that you can have, the community and we continue to do what we do and making sure we can continue to provide for you all. All right. So with that being said, I know I'll be sharing here on the fish bush, right?
So I'm saying, one's getting lifetime membership with this workshop, and best believe, best believe and have faith that the numbers will go up, right? Especially for lifetime. So to get a lifetime membership and a free mental magician report, and thirdly, learning, these concepts and these things that one will be able to take the same day and use and apply. I mean, it's, man, not becoming a part is just, hurting oneself, really, at the end of the day. I don't want to say hurting, but restricting oneself or really missing out on something special. And, with us opening up, membership for our astrological community, I mean, come on now. I'm 7 Hill Star, it's your astrologer's a favorite astrologer.
Yes,
go look at the YouTube.
We are your favorite astrologers, like, period. Like, man, if I could just show you guys how some
groups,
influencers,
man, I've been seeing it everywhere. And they don't want to say it because, come on, for anyone in chat, put in one in chat if y'all know in your life or, someone that was actually doing it, but then you seen someone else trying to copy, but didn't want to give that, give that fair due or roses or whatever you want to call it, really appreciate or give light to whoever did it. That's what it is with us. This is our 369th video today on astrology and very other things. So, I mean, one's already getting access if one hasn't, joined the other free thing. So, I mean, one's just hurting themselves and not hurting, but restricting themselves, right?
Being that can be painful to restrict yourselves because that pride is what brings the pain, honestly.
And I yell.
No, it is what it is, bro. I mean, it's beautiful, also because I already foresee the outcome, you know what I mean? So we know beings really don't last long until they really link with 7 Hill Star, right? 7 Hill Star has a longevity so far. You guys been seeing us, even if it just, at first you just seen Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey, like in November, it'd be 9 years since you've been, kind of seeing me, you know what I mean? Starting out with Facebook, right? And then to develop to where we are now, I'm telling you, I mean, wait till you see us 25 years from now. And you'll see what 7 Hill Star really has grown to because of what it is that we do and continuing to be sincere. It's just a matter of the people loving themselves. All righty. That's what it's going to take. The people have to love themselves. All righty. In order to be able to thoroughly enjoy the grace that is poured upon 7 Hill Star and those that are interacting with 7 Hill Star. I'm pretty sure there's beings out there whose whole life patterns have changed just because they came and got a mirror AstroLiteracy session. All righty. And it's about consistency, because when I go to these, because again, Seven Hill Star is a member of like so-called major world astrological, like major international astrology societies. And I watch our colleagues watch us. And it's like, oh, okay, well, they do respect us. They haven't invited us to their platforms to speak and present or whatever, maybe the feds offends them and I'm not taking it off. So that could be it. Or maybe they just don't know how to approach it. There'll be a brave soul out there that, will either come to our, YouTube presentation and then we'll go to theirs or vice versa. It's going to have to be a mutual exchange of introducing one another to each other's, perspective and respective audiences. So the degree of homicide is 0 degrees, Leo. I know, right? That's a bit of a way of segueing, right? Homicide etymologically, though, means man, because homo is man, right? That prefix in Latin. I got you, Brother Sean. And side, some people say, oh, that's to kill and to cut down and things of that nature, right? So it's like, okay, we get it, but it's definitely to cut down. So homicide, you can look at it as cutting down the mind. Some will say, well, that's killing a man, right? Or cutting down the mind. And think about it, when someone takes someone's life, they are cutting a mind down. However, a positive light in that is maybe, reducing things from your thinking. All righty. Where here the sun is ruling over the place that it's in. Right. So the sun's home. It has dignity. It's going to definitely have a +5, especially while in its own triplicity also. All right. So it's a +8 for dignity here for the sun. Right. It's got +5 by being in the sign that it hosts. In modern terms, they call it rulership. It's more host. Then it's in its own triplicity, right? Because fire signs during the day is Sun, Jupiter, Saturn. So definitely in its own triplicity, right? Even though it's not, I guess, it's not technically a daytime chart, it's still twilight, but I guess since it's sunrise, it'll be considered a daytime chart, especially with the day now being at sun, right? So with that being said, I guess since it's no longer Saturn day, right? It's at Sunday because now the sun is at or above the horizon, all right? So with that being said, what we can do here for ourselves is make sure we cut down some things from our mind and, not give meaning to too many things or to give too much meaning to something that doesn't need that much, and really allow ourselves to be practical in that which we are shining a light on and being able to utilize it in life. And with that, I yield the floor. My first testimony, all righty, for the 23rd is Luna's trying Pluto 6 minutes after midnight. So this is before sunrise. All right, Luna's in the 6th house, of course, as we can see there, right? Pluto's in the 10th, all righty. So in some way, shape, or form, this is dealing with, everyday work and career pertaining to children, right? So, and since, the sun is well below the horizon, I still think leading up to this transit there, whoever's running a daycare, they're having to really consider how they're assisting in helping to raise and or discipline other people's children, while also at the same time making sure that it's being thoroughly communicated, alrighty, to children and to their progenitors, the values in some essential discipline. So a transformation will take place in the career for those that are, for example, doing daycare or some type of nursery or something. And they would have to make sure they're doing their best in, securing the details pertaining to their daily activities pertaining to said daycare. So it will be clear to make sure that you get full disclosure here about what it is that you're about, and then make it so that if, mothers and fathers want to check up on their children in the middle of the day, you can have that means to do so. So this may be someone who runs a daycare and makes sure, all the cameras are working, things of that nature. So people can observe their children, all righty, while they're not around them and leaving them in the care of someone else. With that, I yield the floor. At about 54 minutes after 0100 hours, right? So this is Luna going void, of course, actually, after being trine Pluto. It will ingress Libra. So it's going to be about a 1 hour and 48-minute void, of course, moon. So, make sure you don't hit checkout there if you're, doing online orders at about, 6 minutes after midnight until 1:54 in the morning. All right. And of course, this is Eastern. Adjust your time zones accordingly. However, Luna is ingressing Libra while in the 5th house. So again, we're, really speaking to, bringing the people a balance, or bringing a secure balance to children. All righty. Or secure balance to playing. All righty. Maybe, just maybe, in the idea pertaining to secure balance to playing, what's really important is being able to thoroughly communicate to those that are providing you the means to care for their children, or giving you finances and things of that nature. And you want to take the children, let's say, to a field trip. Make sure that there are enough beings there for the amount of children that you have to make sure no one gets hurt along the way. Or if you go to a park and children want to play on something like a seesaw, if those still exist anywhere in any parks, they want to play on a seesaw, make sure you're very mindful that the children are competent enough to hold themselves and not, fall off the seesaw. And with that, I yield the floor. I know, right? That's taking place 1 o'clock in the morning. What does that have to do with, playing at the park? I'm just saying, there's energies that could have been taking place before that exact transit. So there's a sextile between Sol and Luna. So we have a solar lunar sextile here. Of course, Luna, is there in Libra. All righty. While in the 5th house. Sol is in the 3rd, right? And of course, this is taking place just after, Luna ingresses Libra. This is only taking place about 21 minutes after Luna ingresses Libra. Alrighty. And what we can thoroughly see here is that we must be able to bring a message, right? And be very creative in that message that we bring. Alrighty. Really shine the light and be creative on how we're making sure we're balancing, taking care of people in our homes, and being mindful of one's property. And if there was anything to break, if that was to happen, don't let people find out about something that they would be upset about. Make sure you're very forward and forthcoming, and allow that communication to take place, because what you'll actually see is beings, when it comes to their property, they'll be more forgiving if you're upfront and honest about it, and maybe not so upset, as if they have to find out on their own, because deception will not play in anyone's favor pertaining to this particular transit. Or you could be dreaming something. You may have an unvelation in that dream that reveals to you that there's something that wasn't said to you that someone else probably has some information about. So keep that in mind. And finally, my final transit for the 23rd is a square, a quartile, that is, between Mercury and Uranus. And it's interesting because Uranus is the higher octave pertaining to Mercury. So, of course, Uranus is there in the 5th house, right? Mercury's there in the 8th, all right? It's in the 8th house, but it's an intercepted Leo Aquarius axis there, all engulfed in the 8th. So the moon and sun have rulership over Mercury there in the 8th. All righty, and really bringing some shared financial, study. All right, some shared financial study there. You may, at this time be preparing for some lecture or something that you'll be given, and it pertains to finances. All righty, and the sudden changes in it. And I think, because I'm seeing a heavy theme here with children, with all this Leonian and 5th house energy, maybe someone will either present having a fun way, a game, a video, or something like that pertaining to teaching about financial literacy. And maybe it will also be tied around agriculture. Alrighty, so people will begin to see that the finances are, and has not always been, and really is not only or all the time, a reserved currency, right? Some military script, some fiat, right? Like the Federal Reserve note. Beings will be able to see that all value stems from the people, the sentient beings, actually, non-statutorily speaking, when I say people, the sentient beings who can do their best to bring forth planting seeds and things of that nature and tending to their garden and seeing that the values are there as well. So with that being said, I think plans, alrighty, to be able to make finance off of agriculture will come forth, and people will be partnering, so to speak, to maybe take care of themselves and their loved ones through farmers market type of activities. And with that, I yield the floor to our beloved brother, in whom we are well pleased, Brother Sean Alim El Islam.
Islam broski. Already sold for Monday here, Moon Day, July 24th. Make sure one joins us for Intuition Monday. I'll be doing a calendar, be forgetting what we're going in now. So
no, you have nothing there. You just the sunrise.
Oh, I was saying speaking on for our next Intuition Monday.
Okay. Next Intuition Monday.
It'll be the Aquarian full moon.
Looky. Astro Cookie.
So be sure to join us for that, for the Aquarian new moon. And just speaking to this Monday, which there's no transit. So
that's really cool. Moon. I mean, Aquarian full moon, pardon me. That Aquarian full moon is, that's the 24th, right? Indeed. We're going on that on the 24th. I yield.
So for this day, we got Leo in the first and second house cusp. So man, 1 degree is this is really like an initiation day. If one's been putting off any projects, afraid to shoot their shot or tell someone how they feel about them, go apply for an acting gig or any kind of music. This is a really great day for that. There's no transit, so everything's in harmony. Luna is in Libra. As his bro just went in that sextile actually with that from yesterday. So really just continue to grow upon that beauty that one sees with Libra. We think about acting, we think about giving, charity, benevolence. Luna and Libra is about balance, beauty, and the arts. So just continuing to do everything that one sees beautiful. Making changes to the hair, or getting a different kind of cut, or beauty products, so that sort of fashion, or getting together one's loved ones, or taking one's energy, resources, and able to take care of, do something for one of their loved ones, or give them means and able to communicate something or assist them in the things that they need to get. So really just find the beauty in this day, be in the flow. That's all I really got for that. And just, take charge of what everyone's wanting to take charge of, and, embracing that leadership in whatever position. And with that, I'll yield the floor back to my bro.
Islam.
How's he going in on Tuesday?
You're hilarious, right? Yeah, it's definitely Tuesday. I'm going in here, and I have 3 testimonies: lunar ingress in the Scorpio, and closing out with a testimony. Alrighty. So sunrise. Alrighty. For the 25th. All right, it's taking place roughly, I think, the degree of biliousness, right? 3 degrees is the degree of biliousness. So it's between homicide and biliousness. So being very mindful pertaining to making sure, don't get your pressure up. Make sure you keep a calm mind, alrighty, at all times. If you think someone's going to try to potentially anger you, it's no point of doing anything except just taking a deep breath, and a little woo sigh. Just let it go. All right. And with that, I yield the floor. Before sunrise at about 0200 hours and 39 minutes, Luna sextiling Mercury. All right. So what we're going to be able to do is have quite a secure conversation. All right. Luna is clearly still in Libra. However, it's in the 5th house. All right. And Mercury, of course, is there in the 4th. Look at that. They're both partile, which means they're both at 24 degrees, 40 minutes. However, of course, Mercury's in Leo while Luna's in Libra. 4th and 5th houses really speaks to, when it comes to mother and her children, she really needs to have a secure conversation, maybe speak some things, and maybe leading up to that moment. I know you guys like, what, this is happening at 2:39:06 a.m. Eastern? No, what's actually maybe occurring is conversations pertaining to that day may lead up to that. So this is why I'm saying someone says something that may annoy you. The best way to, secure that communications are being shared that day is just to keep a calm head. And with that, I yield the floor. At 10 o'clock on the nose, it's looking like Luna's sextiling Venus after sextiling Mercury. And it's actually taking place at 0900 hours, 59 minutes, and 58 seconds, just 2 seconds before 10 o'clock exactly. So Venus, of course, there having some accidental dignity in the 12th, I think, even though it's retrograde, right? It's clearly retrograde. And Luna's there in the 2nd house. So it would be a really awesome means to just kind of really share the wealth. All right, really share the wealth about how one can just, actively speak about the fascination and now when it comes to finances, especially when it comes to children. All righty. So anybody dealing with anything, any financial issues or situations dealing with children, I think what would be thorough is to understand and make sure you're comprehending that if you are dealing with something with children there, right, and it's pertaining to finance, it would probably be best to make sure you're not a federal agent trying to utilize, certain systems like child support systems. It's not going to be too favorable because what's going to happen is I think a lot of beings that seek to use that avenue are going to learn probably the hard way, if not immediately in the long run, that is not a viable means to being able to have an appropriate conversation to care for any children that are mothers' children. All right. So I think it would behoove everyone to, for the people to really find the values in the law and justice and be able to, learn and read the background pertaining to things. Like those of us that go to the jurisprudence gem at lawfulliving.com and really know and can see that most beings, unless they're federal, state, or municipal agents, if they're not federal, state, or municipal agents, they shouldn't even be going to the governor's short-term loan program, right? Because the governor can only command the military. And I think people are going to really see, and it's going to be unveiled, that there's something hidden about finances pertaining to children and the legalities to such, right? So do yourself a favor and really make sure you grasp that study, all right, when it comes to that. Maybe since it's Tuesday, you might want to come and join us at the jurisprudence gem at Lawful Living and really discuss these things, so that you can get a better understanding in analyzing how most people are breaking the law because they're having grown temper tantrums. And with that, I yield the floor. Luna squaring Pluto at about an hour and 5 minutes after that. Luna squaring Pluto. Luna, again, 9 times out of 10, still in Libra, and it is, while in the 2nd house. All right, Luna's in the 2nd house, still while in Libra. Pluto, however, is there in the 4th, right? So again, this is speaking to a communication that is particularly dealing with people's possessions, their finances, and 9 times out of 10, their property. So when it comes to your possessions, finances, and property, I think it would behoove people to make sure that they are, securing their property and their values from things that may have stemmed from the past in a way that ones will not be able to dispose of their property or try to hold them to certain debts unqualified. And with that, I yield the floor. It's going to be about an hour and 50 minute moon would, of course, after Luna is squaring Pluto. And then Luna ingresses, a sign that Pluto in modern astrology assists in co-ruling with Mars. And it's Scorpio. So shout out to all the lunar scorpions out there. I know, oh, Scorpio is the fall of the moon. I know at 19 degrees, Scorpio does really well, right? Because that's the monomoria for the Luna. However, with this taking place here, we look at Venus, right? Venus is kicking it in the 10th while under the dispositorship of the moon, right? So moon's ruling over Venus, Venus ruling over the moon. So there's a bit of a mutual reception by house rulership. That's something that doesn't get spoken about. It's not like a thing in any books that I've seen just yet. However, when I think about dispositorship and there being a mutual reception in dispositorship, it's almost as like, hey, the moon's like, hey, Venus, I'll give you this. And Venus is like, okay, moon, I'll give you this. It's like a fair exchange. Alrighty. And Luna gets a fair exchange pertaining to things in the past by being able to utilize things and legalities that are behind the scenes and be able to bring, especially for fathers, a certain level of protection almost, right? Considering that, Cancer's on the midheaven, crabs are very protective of things that are inside their claws. So Luna provides financial protection for fathers also out there, because now what's being analyzed more since it's being brought to the forefront is the qualification of anyone utilizing short-term loan programs that are headed by the leader of the military, right? Of a particular military, so to speak, when it comes to said quote unquote governors, right? Of the state of corporations. There's going to be a lot of financial protection out there, so to speak. So people aren't robbed of the spirit of being able to provide themselves, let alone the outcome that are falsely termed income pertaining to their spirit of caring for themselves and their loved ones. And with that, I yield the floor, just kind of, wanted to go in on that there, because for some reason I just felt the spirit change from hair, and now it's like going to children as far as the energy that I'm picking up on. All right, so with that being said, now we're looking at a first quarter moon taking place, right? It's a solar lunar quartile here, right? So sun square moon. Sun is clearly there, all righty, in the 7th house, looky, astral cookie, while under the dispositorship of Mercury, of course, in the 8th, right? And Mercury is in Leo also, while being disposited, its energies are being disposited by Sun. So there's another kind of mutual relationship by house dispositorship. However, we're looking at Luna there, being under Venus's dispositorship. Again, that's being brought by the sun. And interestingly, since the Cancer Capricorn axis is completely intercepted within the 7th house, moon is kind of co-ruling with Mercury. So the sun, Mercury, Venus, and moon are all kind of, mutually assisting with, relationships, the second Job, so to speak. And for those that, may have like a traveling Job, if you're a quote unquote truck driver, you may find a means to have a rest area that you didn't know existed before. And you're like, hey, I kind of remember this from back in the day, but I didn't know they did this to it. And now it's a lot more comfortable for you to take rest and recharges at certain portions in your travel. And or for those that have what are called quote unquote mobile homes or RVs, I really think you'll be able to find a means to save on some form of energy, even if it's food or gas or something like that, or really recognize that, there's something about your RV that you didn't know all this time, and you had it for about 3, 4, or 5 years or whatever. And now you're like, oh, I didn't know I could do that, but I'm glad I know this now, because now it makes you feel like you have something new all over again. And with that, I yield the floor to our beloved brother, and whom well pleased, as he closes this out, Brother Sean Alim El Islam.
Islam. All righty, so we're back at Wednesday, July 26th. Alrighty, so we've got Sol at 3 degrees Leo. Look like he's still rolling over that first and second house cusp. So yeah, for this Wednesday, look at the duality of one's life. Look at the things that one loves, and then look at things that don't reflect the things that one love or gives one love. So, get rid of that hate, or find out why one quote unquote hates things or dislikes things, and make a list of that. All the things that one loves to do, that doesn't love to do, and just make a list and be clear on that and stand on that. And Luna ruling at, actually, no, sign me all good. So yeah, so just make the changes in one's approach. Maybe it wasn't the idea that was the issue, it was the approach. So changing those things. And with that, I yield the floor. We have Luna trine Saturn before sunrise. So we got Luna in the 6th, in Scorpio. And then we got Saturn there hanging out in the 11th house, right? 6. So yeah, this is just a real beautiful time. Look at that. 8 degrees, 8 minutes on the rise, Taurus. So 8:08, right? And 6:06, which is looky. So and Luna's a mutual reception. So yeah. This is really seeing the fruits of working hard, being responsible in whatever aspect that one does. One could also be seeing, like a gift of some sort, of maybe surrendering to something. So maybe someone at the job, hasn't got the recognition they deserved. And, instead of, kind of acting out or saying something, they just do what's necessary, and then they'll be able to receive that light, that recognition, that praise they're looking for. See Mercury and Saturn, so 12 to that. So yeah, really just yielding to the things that are unseen. Really focus on the meditation. Maybe even removing some friends or removing himself for some groups that is on social media. Maybe one has outgrown a bunch of different groups or, friends, they've came to that they made it to a certain part of a journey. Now it's time to move on from that part of a journey. And being okay with that. Venus in the 5th is bringing eternal beauty. So doing some inner child work, playing, doing anything that makes one, carefree in a sense, to just be, instead of trying to apply or be some image of something like that. And also showing the little ones how to be themselves as well. But first, it's going to come from, does one know their self? And with that, I'll yield the floor. Next up, we have a lunar Martian sextile. All right, so let's see, we got Luna in the 3rd, Mars is in the 1st. Wow, and Sun's ruling over Mars, Venus, and Mercury again, 12th from where they're at. It's interesting. So yeah, there's like a lot of behind the scenes healing that's going on with Luna and Mars being in this sextile, this growth opportunity. Mars is all about action. So how can one, like I said, execute the things they need to? That's by looking at one's action, one's principles, and one's appearances and foundation. What needs to be changed? Luna and the 3rd Scorpio is going to reveal the mindsets. So being able to make the necessary changes between one's mindset and one's actions, or their will, if one wants to call that. And just being seen that clearly and really letting the light be shown to thee and not being afraid of it from what's unseen. Right, it could make you lose breath or be short-chested, but be open to embracing that light that wants to come in. It's like sleeping in a dark home, rest and recharge in a dark home, and all the blinds are shut, and somebody comes in like, hey man, why are you just sitting in the dark? And then they open everything up, right? So do that with oneself physically and spiritually. And with that, I yield the floor. Next up, the last aspect of the day, we have a lunar Jupiterian flexion. Right? Man, Luna's in the first. Bro, you got this?
Stop it. You gonna make people
Jupiter's
think
in the
seventh house is horrible. Stop it. You're hilarious, bro.
I mean, like I thought it was the eighth.
Well, it's funny because the seventh house is a type of death house because it's the death to the singular being, which means you're a couple, you're a relative, right? So it's a beautiful death, so to speak, because I think death is kind of like look in a negative. No one likes someone that they love life stopping. However, deaths happen when when you are around someone else. Guess what died? You being by yourself. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of how it's looked at as far as the house of others, so to speak, right? I yield those.
Yep. Luna's in the first 13 degree. Guru Jupiter is in the seventh, 13. I think what is 13 degrees Taurus. But anyways, with Luna and Jupiter, I was just reflecting on one's mental foundation, mental security. Pardon me, Jupiter is in the seventh house of partnerships and relationships, which is, as I've seen, studying our colleagues, is that, Jupiter is a really good spot for the seventh house. It's expanding the partnerships, the relationships, the equality. So really just, look for that. Air pressure and gravitation. That's what it is. Actually, no, that's 13. Circulation of money, unfortunate for marriage. So,
yes,
so yeah, just looking at how one spends their, their finance, their energy. Really reflecting on that and not being spend thrifty of sorts, but investing or purchasing things that add value, add beauty, that will expand the things, right? It's kind of like, let's say that if thinking like rice and water, right? How that rice expands when it comes to the water. So things that will expand and add value to things, and not being on things that take away. And really just reviewing self. This is also within the partnerships and business partnerships, really looking at oneself and having an equal give and take, what the values one bring and the values that the other brings. And whether it's that or partnerships. Jupiter and Taurus is all about foundation. Being optimistic about one's values. So an ending, and Mars is ruling that from the 11th. Pardon me, no, in the 10th. All right, from the 10th house. So it's ruling at 6. So that 10th and 6th house is ruling. So there's a lot of changes between this, the service, the communication within the home, and also the communication and action when it comes to one's career and authority. So just saying what needs to be said, or working together and not working against each other when it comes to partnerships and one's self-identity. So loving others, but still being secure in self, to not quote unquote lose oneself in someone else with that. So and on that note, bro, I'll keep going. So Mars is ruling over that, and Sun's is final dispositor for Mars. Soul's in the 3rd house, the God house, and the 9th. So let that higher learning communication be something loving that can add value to you, not only yourself but your partner. They might know something you don't know, or don't know something that you know, and be able to say that in a loving way. Maybe ask for something instead of demanding or being rude about it. Right? Beings are more open to doing and assisting when they feel like they're helping or they want to, instead of just being told to do it. Right? So on that note, I'll yield the floor, bro.
Indeed. I'd like to thank you all for joining us for our 7-day Tropic Medical Astro Weather Report, where you get to see 7 days in advance, guys. So we just finished showing you what the potential energies and tendencies there are for Saturn. For the next 7 days, right? So with that being said, we'd like to thank you all again for joining us again. Remember, go to 7heelstar.com, sign up for our email list. Those of you that are going to participate, right? Don't be shy, right? And look at the whole, oh, well, it's 250 units for it. Look, guys, I guarantee you it's each subsequent workshop we're going to be glad that you're a part of an astrological society within a community. Think about it. People that look like us don't do astrological societies, right? So you have a lot of beings out there, like our Albion sons and daughters have been taking advantage of this for years, taking our ancestors' memoirs pertaining to astrology. They are doing their best in attempting to be able to translate and or transliterate some things. And I think we allow ourselves to take the helm of those endeavors to translate and transliterate things from ancient Latin, ancient Greece, things of that nature, and really look at these texts ourselves. I think we have the means, intellectually speaking and naturally speaking, to be able to comprehend actually what we were saying in those times past. Because what our ancient foremothers and forefathers were, without doubt or contradiction, we are this day. All righty. So let's take it to the chat real quick.
I just gotta say too, like, don't complain about, oh, it's 250, but you'll go spend it on them J's and get stepped on the same strong beginning. Then won't even be wearing them 6 months from now, and this workshop will help you for a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
For Indeed. A lifetime. Folks talk about communication and all that, but like I said, some folks just scared to really truly nurture themselves on the spiritual level, so they'll be quick to spend something material that seems of value. It's kind of like in the Holy Quran, it's like the apple looks good to the core, when one bite into it, it's rotten. That's how it is, like a lot of these things. So think about all the times that, for the babies, really learning so that one can assist with their babies and, friends. Think about friends that, they're in a relationship, but they're always arguing. Most likely their Mercuries are probably square, maybe even, reflection. So be able to assist yourself and others so that, once again, government's the first home. If folks don't know themselves at home, they'll be looking to someone else to tell them who they are.
Right.
So once again, I'm just saying that. So, it's not about, don't look at the 250 as, it's this. I mean, it's really worth a lot more, especially that one's getting a mental magician report and access to our astrological community that we're holding for everyone, for folks like us and everyone to come together. So it's way more value than, what we're putting out, but we're being fair. So we'd be like, hey, man, we got this workshop. We want 1,900 Federal Reserve notes. Like,
because
you're right.
Because when I did my scholarship, when I went to that conference for on a scholarship, it was $1,350. So I had the whole $1,350 for the tuition. You know what I mean? Comp due to me being eligible for the scholarship.
Folks are saying,
and eventually we'll get there eventually we'll get there, because I know that it's going to be more, because we're going to have workshops. Because that workshop, that was a conference. Remember, I started in April. It wasn't over till October.
Correct.
Right. So that's from the so-called fourth month of the calendar to the 10th month of the calendar. Like that's a half a year of astrology conferencing. All right. So I'm telling you, and then you guys, I promise what it is that we provide you guys. It's just going to be, you're going to walk away with so much information. And then the fact that, like I said, I'm having some ways of the way I want you guys to be able to access the video at any time. So I'll figure out how I want you guys to be able to have the videos for yourselves or whatever. We might still just do it the way that we're doing it. You know what I mean? Have it in a drive, and just make sure your email has access to that drive so you can go and look at it at any time. You just gotta, it's a lot of people who have access to different drives that we provide. And it's funny, some people don't get to those drives till months or a year or two later, after they like, oh, hold on, what's this? Hey man, and they'll text me or whatever, or email me. I had no idea that all this was in there. You know what I mean? It was one brother though that recently got, a Mir AstroLiteracy session, and he just, after a couple of days ago, he didn't wait like 7 days. he was like, man, I finally was able to, you know, check it out and get to it. He's like, yo, there's so much in there. I had no idea. Like, 07 Hill Star definitely and has always been looking out. You know, we definitely look out, right? But go ahead, bro. Is there anything else you were saying before I shout out?
Straight up, yeah, and yeah, folks will pay 3,000-5,000 notes for a package and still don't even know what to do. We give you Moon and Mercury, so one knows how to write, and Moon is thinking, so be able to put pen to the paper, and which will only assist one in the AstroLiteracy correction that we also give as well, pertaining to, you know, law. So I mean, it's only helping yourself. It's the question to ye that one have to ask themselves is, do I really want this help? Do I really want this healing? Do I want all these things, or do I just want to keep ignoring and neglecting those things that I know that I need, but for some whatever reason, my mind makes me want to do other things? So it's on me, and I yield.
So, and in the chat, hey, John Alexander Dix, hey, what's up, man? Our beloved son of whom we're well pleased. He says peace and love. Mary Began Ashley says peace and love with much respect indeed. Mary Open 642 says greetings. Greetings to you, Open 642. And the account that says Janez 2156, they put a red heart and a green heart. We appreciate you, Islam. Peace and love to you also. And there's our brother Corey Hall Bay, right? Islam to you also, brother. It's funny you popped up too, because I kind of mentioned you without mentioning you, but yeah, he was the brother that was like, yo, I had no idea there was so much in there, you know what I'm saying, as far as Prophet Noble Dryly University. And so he also had recently did a testimony you guys see on Instagram, right? I guess we could possibly run that real quick. Like, you know, if you guys never heard a testimony or seen a testimony, when it comes to, you know, on our Instagram, so to speak, we can kind of take you here and show when the brother gave his testimony. So check it on out.
Peace and love. I just want to give a big shout out to Hassan Ghazia Bey for my Astro Mirror literacy session. It's been life-changing. I'm so thankful that I got to do it. I'm so thankful that I got to see another side of myself from the astrological perspective, and really just getting a bit weight off my shoulder. You know, I had some things on my mind, on my spirit, and this was definitely a way for me to just get that off and just understand I'm where I'm supposed to be, and I'm pursuing the right things. And I feel like once you do it, you want to tell everybody, because I can't stop telling everybody about it. So just definitely go ahead and do it. Get that weight up off your shoulder. Like I say, peace and love to Hassan Ghazia Bey. Reach out to them at 7 Hill Star. Get at them. Go ahead and get that weight up off your shoulder. Go ahead and know more about yourself. And I guarantee you won't be upset about it. You'll love it. Peace and love. Shout out 7 Hill Star.
Yeah, bro got that southern vernacular. I know. He says the Gaziel so fast it does sound like Gazelle. Brother Sean, you're wilding, bro. You and Brother Corey are hilarious, man. No, but it's
man, I understand though, because I got I have like an accent too, you know, when I pronounce some things.
You're hilarious. But yeah, I mean, much love to the brother. Not only did he actually do that video, what's actually right here in the in the comments is actually what he, you know, typed to me also. So that's why I posted that there also. So, you know, I think the brother's going to have some promise, and he's a loving brother, and he cares much about his family. You know, I'll just say that. I won't go into what we spoke about in the session, but some things that are, you know, topical, but I think that makes, you know, a good being overall is that also has seen in, you know, in that session, he loves his loved ones for real. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I know it does. You know, Gazio does sound like Gazelle. You and Brother Corey are hilarious, bro. You know, I totally get it. That's why Mother Carmisha was like, even with you, she's like, country. It's funny. That's where
bro. Even when I try to put it on TikTok, like I just, you know, you try to do the little voice. I'm like, oh, nope, never mind. The Lord even up the radio. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, yep. I just leave it alone.
Yeah, Brother Corey Hall says there, you know, Brother Corey Hall Bay says, you know, everybody needs to do this, no cap. And he's taking it in good stride. You know, he's laughing about it. You know, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, the brother definitely, you know what I mean? I see, you know, he'll be able to utilize the astrology for he and his loved ones, you know, because a lot of people, not just him, someone else, You know, a lot of people that I'm seeing that are coming to, you know, Southern Hill Star for the astrology, they're thoroughly interested in the medical astrology also. So I make sure I definitely directed them where the medical astrology, you know, PDF is pertaining on the physical book that I was gifted by Mother Rashida Bey of the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, right? The only Siyara, you know, that I'm sure is the only Siyara for Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, all right? She gave me an encyclopedia of medical astrology by Howard Leslie Cornell. And so lately, when beings come for the Mirror AstroLiteracy session, yes, they are thoroughly and immediately attracted to the medical astrology portion because there may be a loved one that they want to be able to look at some things astrologically. You know, so even for me, you know, that's my start, honestly, the medical astrology and seeing people that had different ailments in their bodies and things of that nature. I was able to suggest some things. And for me, my first and usually immediate and only suggestion is if anyone is dealing with something, we're going to first look at it chiropractically. And then when you're looking at the chart, we'll see if there are any things that they can, you know, incorporate into their nutritional plan that are ruled by certain planets to mitigate other actions and or reactions in the body. All right. So again, guys, the universally professional astrology community presents Quick Thinking Moon and Mercury. All righty. So this is an astrology workshop pertaining to Moon and Mercury from the 12th. It's going to happen on the 12th and 13th August 2023. That's Saturday and Sunday from noon to 1600 Eastern. That is right. Eastern. Make sure I make that known that it's Eastern. All right. So for those of you on the West Coast, that will be 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific. Elementary tuition for a lifetime membership, 250 units via CashApp. The Caduceus symbol, OurAstrologyStreet, and the Caduceus symbol is what people call the dollar sign. This workshop's lecture presentation by Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey, and Brother Sean Alim Mel and Brother Sean Alim L for all the participants to give basically evidence pertaining to their lifetime membership. He will give you a Mental Magician 1.0 report for yourselves and allow him the time to be able to do so accordingly. However, bro is not going to slack on it. All righty. So everyone that participates and gives their elementary tuition there for lifetime membership shall receive the Mental Magician report. All righty. Any questions, comments, and or suggestions going once? Questions, comments, and or suggestions going twice.
Peace and love.
Guys, remember, make sure you go
Shout out Copper Crystals.
Yes, shout out to Copper Crystal Canvases. Make sure you guys go there and follow their Instagram page, right? And you guys make sure you treat yourself. Don't beat yourself. Click that link in their bio and grab yourself some of this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful handcrafted jewelry and other things that they've had from others in our community that were, you know, that we were able to get some items from and be able to make sure you guys can get them also. All right. So remember what I have on here, right? And I'm going to show you in a bit. Just want you guys to see that this is where the link goes to on 7 Hill Star for Copper Crystal Canvases. Want to just let you guys know, like for myself, I have my solar system, you know, energy bracelet on here, right? Having on from, you know, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, right? Uranus and Neptune kind of energy going on there. And do it again so you guys can actually see it, right? Right? Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, right? Saturn's got his ring around it. You see that? It's pretty dope, right? Uranus and Neptune and Pluto. That's right. And then I had this rare Super 7, man. I mean, the energy of this, when I first put it on, I was like, whoa, okay, I see a difference. And then also, you know, I have my copper on, right? I got my organite set in copper by them, and it's the way I wanted it. So, because this is me, this is, you know, I have a different way of doing things, seemingly avant-garde. And then this is one of my first pieces from them, and I really dig this one. You know what I mean? Most people be like, oh, that's the eye to ward off evil. Yeah, cool, whatever. It's just that when I saw it, out of all the rings that I saw that they had, I was like, this is the one I I want for myself. You know, everybody's got their own style, so to speak, right? So with that being said, get you something from Copper Crystal Canvases. So when you go to get a bracelet, remember, it'll be one of these. You know, I don't shower in my stuff either, all righty? But, you know, when you have like elastic and things of that nature, you don't want to, you know, put excessive amounts of water on it in any way, shape, or form. And no oils either. You know, oils destroy elastic. So I don't want you guys being like, oh, well, Copper Crystal Canvases, you know, they didn't say it wasn't waterproof and not oil proof. It's like, look, I'm saying on their behalf that it is. However, I'm pretty sure that they'll have documentation, probably a small little leaflet of some sort, to make sure you guys know, you know, don't shower in it. Don't get your essential oils or any oil in that matter, you know, on it either. And that's why I'm keeping mine intact and keeping them on. So that's kind of what it is that I do. So with that being said, questions, comments, and/or suggestions going thrice. Brother Corey says, I'm gonna get some. It's going to help me remember the zodiac too. Hey, look at that. Look at that. So they're already, Brother Corey's talking about getting him something from Copper Crystal Canvases. Indeed. Guys, another thing, like we already said, the workshop, guys, make sure you schedule your mirror Astro Literacy sessions. And, you know, if you're not showing up for the workshop, which we think you really should, but you're like, you know what, you know, I still want to get my mental magician report without showing up to the workshop. Make sure you holler at Brother Sean Wayne L. Remember, on our About Us page at 7 Hill Star, you can get in contact with all the bros there through direct message through Instagram. All right. And since there are no more questions, comments, and or suggestions, this is where I and Brother Sean say, be ye selves and donate, guys. We love you all. Thank you for joining us. This is where we say to y'all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace and love.